Hey team, here's a quick question for you. How heavy do you think this glass of water is? If you're like most people, you will have started thinking about how much you think it weighs, how many grams it is. But I didn't ask you how much it weighs, I asked you how heavy it is. Now certainly the weight has an impact on how heavy I find it. But you know what else has an impact on that? How long I've been holding it. And this is what stress and pressure are like. If I've been experiencing stress and pressure for a brief period of time, like I've been holding this glass for a brief period of time, I can feel the demand it places on me. I can feel the energy it's taking from me to cope with it, to deal with it. And interestingly enough, in psychology, that's what we're talking about when we're talking about stress. We're talking about demands. I know in our everyday language we like to talk about stress as if it's inherently negative. Oh no, I'm stressed. Oh, don't be stressed. Oh, stress. But actually, stress isn't inherently negative. In fact, there's lots of good stress we experience in our lives that we want to experience. Things that promote growth and development, increase our resilience. In fact, stress and experiencing it is a sign we're doing something meaningful, something that matters in our life. But stress is defined as anything that places a demand on you. And this glass, this is placing a demand on me. And the longer I hold it out, the heavier it gets. Often the problem with stress isn't actually the amount of stress we're exposed to. It's how long we're exposed to stress without opportunity for recovery. Now already I can feel that this glass is getting heavier for me. But if I have been holding this glass out for days or for weeks, it becomes cripplingly heavy. The weight hasn't changed, but how heavy it is certainly has. Now, because I've only been holding this out for a brief period, I've all got this discretionary energy left over to be the best, most values-driven version of myself. But have any of you noticed that if you've been under prolonged stress and pressure, if you've been holding out this glass for days or for weeks without recovery, that some of the politeness slips from your personal relationships? Has anyone noticed that? And it's literally because you no longer have the discretionary left over to be that best, most values-driven version of yourself. You're using everything you've got to try and cope with this demand. So a key idea when it comes to your management of stress, to ensure the stress you experience helps you grow and develop and doesn't derail you, doesn't burn you out, is you need to be putting that glass down. Because if you put the glass down, then you have the opportunity to recover. And when you go and pick the glass back up again, it's not too heavy. And we're all going to be picking the glass back up again. It's the nature of the world we live in, and it's something we want to do. Experiencing the stress from holding the glass, it literally unlocks our potential. It helps us grow into being greater individuals of greater capacity who have more meaningful lives than we would be otherwise. So we don't want to avoid the glass, but we have to be putting it down to make sure that we can recover and we have that energy to cope effectively with it. And I don't care how mentally tough or resilient you are, you might be able to hold up a bucket like that. But if you are not putting it down, the wheels will come off. It's just a matter of where and when for different people. So, how do you put the glass down? How do you recover? That's in psychology what we'd call self-care. And I know self-care sounds like a bloody luxury, but your self-care is a discipline, not a luxury. And here's the message for you from this clip today. You need to be treating your recovery, your self-care as a discipline. You need to be deliberately and consciously putting that glass down to make sure that you can be the version of yourself you want to be. You can flourish through life's many challenges and adversities. So team, put the glass down. You got this. Aroha nui, mad love, mad respect.